Hey there, this is Becky DeGrossa. I'm the founder of Counseling Wise and the owner of the Private Practice Builders Facebook group. Each week in the group, we ask therapists to ask questions that they want answered, and the question with the most votes wins. So this week, the winning question was, does Google Ads work to get clients? And that's what I'm going to be answering today in this video. So what are Google Ads anyway? Google Ads are those things here that you type a search term into Google and the very top of the page shows ads and they will say ad next to them. And the short answer is Google Ads has built many a therapy practice, okay? So do they work? Yes, they definitely work, but you really have to do it right. Here's one of our clients, Katie Markley. She sent me this in January 26th, and said, my campaign has been working really well. I've gotten 11 new clients since the first of the year. So that's like 25 days, 11 clients, okay? Now, that is off the charts, right? Fast. Most people, it's not that fast. It all depends on your specialties, where you're located, how competitive it is, how much you spend on your budget, all that good stuff. But this just shows you that it definitely can work. However, both your website and your ads need to be done well, okay? Your campaign needs to be set up the right way, and your website or your landing pages for your ads need to be done the right way. So I'm going to give you 4 tips to basically not lose your shirt on Google Ads, okay? All right, so first, make sure that you have individual specialty pages on your site or as your landing pages, okay? You don't want to pay for ads and send that traffic, send those folks to a general homepage or a page that says, here's my 14 specialties, okay? You don't want to do that. You really want to make an impact with those. The next thing is to create one ad group for each specialty page or landing page. I'm going to show you what I mean by that in a second here. The next one is don't use Google Ads Express. That's an offering by Google that they try to make look really easy, and it is kind of really easy because you can't control much. But the fact that you can't control much ends up making you waste a lot of money. And then finally, make sure that you use extensive negative keywords in your ads. You do not want to, in your ad campaign, you do not want to waste money by having people see your ad when they're typing in something that isn't what you do and possibly click on it, okay? So I'll talk about that in a second as well. All right, so what do I mean by individual specialty pages? This is a navigation for somebody's website, you know, the navigation that's at the top. And under specialties, if you hover over that, you're going to see this drop down. So this therapist has 5 different specialties: autism testing, child counseling, psychoedivals, teen counseling, and special education advocacy. So each one of these would be considered either a specialty page or a landing page, and each one of them would have ads going to them. Here's a little bit more about that. This is a different example, but let's imagine that you had these 4 specialties. You worked with couples, you worked with people with anxiety, depression, and you did child counseling. So what would happen is all of these are ad groups with these ads in them. Each one is separate, and all of the couples ads would bring up an ad that would go to the couples page, and the anxiety ads would lead to the anxiety page, depression to the depression page, child counseling to your child counseling page, okay? So this is the matching of ad groups to specialty pages or landing pages. The next thing I said was don't use Google Ads Express. Again, there's not enough control with that. You can talk to Google and they will coach you through things, but the fact remains, besides the fact that you'll get different story from everybody at Google, each person you talk to will tell you to do it a different way. The problem there is that you don't have enough control. You cannot, for one thing, put in a whole bunch of negative keywords, and you're just not as, you don't have as many tools in the toolbox to make the ad campaign exact. So this may work for very, very small towns, but boy, if you're in a small town, you should be able to, with a very basic website and a Psychology Today listing, fill your practice anyway, okay? You wouldn't need Google Ads. But it just doesn't give you enough flexibility to be precise in the ad campaign. So typically what we find is people come to us and they say, Google Ads doesn't work. I've been doing it. I spent all this money and it hasn't worked at all. And then we look and we realize, they've been using Google Ads Express. All right, so that's not what we recommend. And then finally, make sure you use extensive negative keywords. So here's an example. If you had a couples counseling specialty, you would say, hey, show my ad for these keywords. And you could list all of these keywords here. And any time that anybody types anything in that is on this list, or it contains these keywords, okay, what if it says couples therapy in Madison, and you're in Madison, Wisconsin, then your ad would still show because couples therapy was typed in, okay? So there's some tricks with keywords, but basically I want to show you that what we're trying to do in this case, in this example, is say, hey, Google, when someone types in these things, please show my couples counseling ad. Okay? Now, what we also want to do is we want to say, hey, but if they added retreat to this, like what if it was a couples therapy retreat, okay, or a marriage counseling retreat, and you don't run retreats, you wouldn't want your ad showing because people are going to click on that. And it's going to waste money for you, and it's not going to convert because that's not what you do, okay? What if it was couples therapy, couples massage therapy, or something like that, right? You wouldn't want your ad to show because massage isn't what you do. Or marriage counseling conference, or what if they typed in Catholic couples therapist and you're not that, or Asian couples therapist and you're not that? What if they said couples therapy Blue Cross Blue Shield and you do not accept insurance? Okay, so this is just an example of the types of negatives that we include in our campaigns, and to give you a really good idea of how you can get rid of a lot of unwanted clicks that just waste your money. In our campaigns, we use 600 to 900 negatives. So that's a lot of negative keywords, and we've developed that over many, many years, so it's very precise. We hardly waste money with our campaigns on bad clicks, but just gives you an idea that you really want to make that an extensive list, okay? All right, so let's talk about options for getting Google Ads implemented. There are training programs that you can take to learn how to do Google Ads, and then there are done-for-you services. And with both of these, there are some considerations that you should really contemplate. So first of all, with training programs, make sure that if you're going to go get trained on how to do Google Ads, make sure you're a person who really likes this type of tedious work. It is tedious, it's exacting, it's infuriating for a lot of people. You really need to be confident and persistent technically in order to make this work, and talk to other people to see what it was like in making this work, okay, if they actually were successful. If someone else is in a training program where they're teaching Google Ads, really talk with them to understand what that was like. We have had several calls recently from people who have taken training programs that are out there for therapists on this, and they have spent thousands of dollars in Google Ads, not to mention in the training as well, and they couldn't get it to work. So they're coming to us and they're saying, I give up. These guys are just telling me to try something else, and I'm over it. I can't get it to work, and I've spent so much money. Can you save me, basically? Okay, and so then we're doing their Google Ads for them. So make sure you talk to people in these training programs before you sign up, and that you really know yourself, right? Are you this type of person who wants to learn this stuff? Okay. The next thing is done-for-you programs or offers. So check first to make sure that they specialize in working with therapists, and make sure that they have a track record of success, okay? I wouldn't hire someone who does not work with therapists because, for one, they won't have the negative keyword list developed for therapists specifically. They're going to be learning on your nickel, okay? And you're going to spend a lot of money on ads while they learn, oh, I should have put that in as a negative. Oh, I should have put that in as a negative. Okay, so you don't want to do that. You want to make sure they specialize in working with therapists, and then you want to make sure they have a track record of success. All right, there you go. I hope this was helpful. Over and out for me, and I will talk to you next week on the video for next week. All right, take care. Bye-bye.